Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get right to it. Sorry I haven't been broadcasting much lately. I've been doing a lot of door knocking, and I haven't had this ride to the office in some time where I divulge and digress and divert and disclose. Hopefully there's not too much sound. I moved a few things around in the back of my mobile realtor command center, my van office, my executive sprinter office. And one of the things was the printer. I wanted to have it on top. It seems like for some reason when it was down in the drawer below, I wasn't accessing it as readily. It wasn't reachable or accessible. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It was kind of a pain in the butt. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't that easy to stay that mobile. And there was this big empty spot on top of my desk that, for display purposes, for for show and tell, the printer just looks a lot better on top. Don't you agree? It shows that it's a full-blown office. You don't know what's behind that drawer. Anyhow, so there might be a little bit of rattling, new noise back there, and then there's squeaking. There's all sorts of noises, but it's not about the audio quality on this. As you guys know, I haven't been in the podcast studio, into the studio recording YouTube videos, but I've been doing a lot. And I do mean a lot. And if you haven't been watching, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but Facebook Live, that's right, it's a live streaming application, just like Periscope, just like Meerkat, just like Ustream. It is a live streaming platform, and I've been live streaming my cold calling, warm follow-up, and most importantly, door knocking. I've been door knocking live on camera. So for those of you who are interested in my my techniques, go to Facebook and just regular Facebook, good old Facebook. And at the top you'll see a search bar that says search. At the very top of that search bar you type these words. They are your first day in real estate. All spelled out, your first day in real estate. And if you hit that, you'll find my page that is associated with this podcast and my other podcast and all of my training information, the Facebook page. But more importantly, when you like that page, it will alert you when I'm live. And I'm broadcasting directly from there. If you're my Facebook friend, whatever, that's not what I'm talking about. You have to go to that page and like that page. You go to Facebook, search it, like it, and then you will start seeing the live streams. I don't really keep the playbacks. They're not eventful enough. But I did recently, I wanted to tell you about the door knocking. I've been doing a ridiculous amount of door knocking. And when I say ridiculous, I'm talking 200 to 300 doors a day. I'm averaging 65 doors a day for the last month. But that's over an average. I mean, we're not, that's the first 2 weeks of the year, of the first 2 weeks of the month that are bringing my averages down. But if you take an average of the last 2 weeks, hundreds a day. And you might say, is that a good use of time? And I am here to say on this episode, absolutely, positively, one of the best uses of my time, hands down. And so yesterday, if you go to that page, your first day in real estate, you'll also see I posted a photograph, a screenshot of my door knocking app. That's Spotio, the door knocking application. It's a GPS app that you can mark statuses. And I've been keeping track of statuses over the last month. And in that was a huge real-time statistical, probably the most valuable statistic ever produced on door knocking in this market. Probably the most valuable photograph you'll ever stare at if you're questioning about door knocking. And here's what it said. It said I knocked about 1,300 doors. I went up to 1,300 doors and knocked on them. Now, there were only about 50 that were, or maybe 100, I don't know those numbers now off the top of my head, that were do not knock, no soliciting. This city, this wonderful, fine city of Yorba Linda, has a do not knock list. So, there's a couple of those that are peppered in there. But here were the real-time results. An average of 57% of the people were not home. So for every 100 doors, 57 of them were not home. 35% we're home. So, here's the real data. Here's the real averages, the one that's going to really make you go, really, James? Really? Is this real? I'm not making this stuff up. You know, that's the difference between me and other real estate sales trainer and coaches. They make it up. They get dialogue and insight from other real estate agents who might not be tracking the numbers, or they might not reveal the truth, but I am literally in the laboratory mixing chemicals, writing it down. I'm in the kitchen making cake, and I'm telling you, here's the door knock cake. Here's how to make the best door knock cake. Here's the ingredients, and it's the truth. You won't get sick. It won't poison you. And a lot of these real estate trainers and coaches right now, they're poisonous because they're giving you false information. My information is real. It comes from a real place, whether you like it or not. You don't have a choice. It's the real deal. So I'm knocking on an average of 100 doors. Here's the drum roll and the punchline. 3% are leads. I'm getting a 3% lead rate on door knocking. That means for every 100 doors that I knock, I get an average of 3 leads. Is that good, James? Well, it takes me an hour to knock 50 doors, 2 hours to knock 100. So in 2 hours of door knocking, I will generate 3. Some days, though, I won't generate any. Some days I generate 2 or 3. It's not a hard science in the sense that the numbers are an average, but they are truth, ladies and gentlemen. Truth. And the truth will set you free. 100 door knocks will get you a lead, or 2 or 3. So for every 100 doors in 2 hours, if you go out and door knock in 2 hours and just go to the door and say, my name is Agent with Company and I was wondering if you're thinking of selling your house, you knock on 100 doors in my territory, 1 to 3 will say yes. They might say we have an agent. They might say we're doing it ourselves. Whatever their answer is, they're saying yes. They're saying maybe. And the difference between that and calling on the phones is that when they say maybe on the phones, that's maybe. That's like, let's go away. Let's forget it. That's a very different beast than when they're at the door. When they're at the door, you can see their face. Their face says yes. Their eyes say yes. And so you're able to say, well, when do you think? You think maybe later down the road? Yeah, maybe. Okay, great. You mind if I kept in touch? Yeah, no problem. What's your number? No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. But now you have their name, right? Because you've got their data. You've got their number. You've got their address. You know where they're at. They're in your farm. They're in your territory. They're in an area that you're going to pass on more than one occasion, so you will go back there. What does that mean? That means, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely committing from this day forward and from the last 2 or 3 weeks to coming into the office at 9-ish, hitting my 100 contacts because I still truly believe in cold calling and follow-up for sell-by owners, expireds, all that stuff. But more importantly, you come in, do the calls, and then get on the streets. So I'm saying probably 3 hours on the phone, 4 hours at the door. It's a 7-hour workday. Pepper in some appointments, but do not discount. Now, if I happen to miss the morning of cold calling and something happens in the morning, I get an appointment, I will go door knock in the evening. So I'm going to get up in the morning and do my yoga. I want to start doing consistently yoga. Commit, just say yoga in the morning. I love yoga. So it's not like I resist it. But I'll do my yoga for breakfast. Get into the office by about 9-ish. Hit the phones. As soon as I get off the phones, I'm going to go into the gym and actually work out with weights. And then after that, go hit the doors. And hit the doors like a beast. And with that, there is an undeniable result that will happen. I will succeed. So get to work.